Well, without a doubt, COVID-19, the pandemic, has changed life in every way. We've just got news in that globally we have surpassed 15 million infections, and it's moving so quickly. I still remember being on air just a few months ago when globally we passed 1 million infections, and that seemed like a huge milestone. We are now at 15 million infections globally. Here at home, of course, the impact has been massive. We're not yet at the peak of the virus, certainly in Gauteng, and already we have seen huge implications financially for people battling through the lockdown. Well, the South African Social Security Agency has been assisting. They're going to make double payments of the 350 Rand special relief grants this week. That, of course, is for outstanding June and July accounts. Sassa has also reconsidered some applications for May and updated its database. Beneficiaries have been advised to visit the post office only once they receive an SMS. Well, for more on this, we're joined by Sassa spokesperson Paseka Letsatsi. Good evening. Thank you so much for your time. This 350 Rand social relief of distress grant specifically for people who lost their livelihoods under the lockdown. It was a massive new undertaking for Sassa. It was beset by a lot of logistical problems. Now you're saying you're going to be making double payments, I presume to make up for some of the delays. How many people qualify for these double payments?
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers at home as well. I think you are quite right. After careful consideration of those people who were declined, who made an application in May in particular, we had about 1 million of them who were reconsidered and they were uploaded on the system. Remember, when we make an application, we basically bounce it with other government entities. In this instance, we'll check whether you appear on the UIF. We'll also check whether you appear on the database on NSFAS and so on.
Yes.
And the majority of those were appearing on the UIF. Unfortunately, what we did, or fortunately what we had to do, was to double check. But some of them, as much as they appear on the database of the UIF, that does not relate or translate to the fact that they are getting paid. Hence, as an organization, we said, let's just do internal review mechanism and check if we can help those people who are aggrieved.
So just to recap for me, how many people are qualifying for this double payment? Did you say 1 million?
Yes, we had to reconsider about 1 million of them, who after checking with other entities of government, we realized that those actually qualified to get 350. And one thing that we also want to emphasize is the fact that some of them might not have had an account at the bank, but we also advise them to go and get money at the post office. And we are actually delighted that at least we managed to make a progress in that regard.
My understanding is that if you've got a bank account, you're likely to get your money sooner than if you have to get from the post office. Just talk us through the time frames of payment.
Yeah. Look, not necessarily that you'll get it sooner. It makes it easy because obviously when it goes to the bank, you don't have to go and get it from the post office. You'll automatically get it in the bank account. What we are trying to do is to make sure that we do not necessarily discriminate against those who are getting it from the bank. We don't discriminate against those who are getting it from the post office, rather to say. We process applications every month end because people apply on a daily basis. Remember, we were given 6 months to make sure that we dispense this 350. We might sometimes take a week or 2 weeks just to go and process, because one of the important things is to make sure that we verify if you are indeed a South African. So we bounce it with the Department of Home Affairs, but we also check if you are not double dipping, because we know that there are people who are getting some other form of help or some form of an income somewhere. So we need to make sure that you do not necessarily get money from other government agencies.
I understand completely. You've had to make sure that people aren't, as you say, double dipping. How soon are people going to get this double payment, this 1 million group of people? Are we talking days or weeks?
We would be making those particular payments. We have already communicated with them. We have seen, especially on the media, that some of them started getting the money through the post office. But one thing that we need to emphasize to the public is that you are not getting 700 Rand every month. And I think our emphasis would mean to say that there are people who made an application in May. This is the payment of June and July. So we would not expect people to try and think that when it comes to August, they will get the 700 rand. It will go back to 350. We know that there was a confusion wherein people thought that because they got the 700 rand now, in August they will get the same 700 rand. We just want to clarify that to the public, that it was a money which was meant to be paid in June and July.
Well, thank you very much for clarifying that. That will be certainly good news for people who have been waiting for that COVID relief money.